This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series, Cobra's Professor Rottclaw and Cobra Deinonychus. And I'm sure I butchered that name right there for that dinosaur. Professor Rottclaw is a new character for the Classified Series, which is interesting. And to go along with this, he's got two heads, as you can see here. That helmet is supposed to be for the Paleo troops. So basically the idea is if you wanted to get multiple of this set, you can use it as a troop builder also of both dinosaurs and troopers. Although in that case, they probably should have done some different armor as well so that they don't all look exactly the same, since, you know, you think the leader has a little bit difference. But on the side of the box, we got some nice pictures here. And unfortunately, it's him with the helmet on, which again, if that's supposed to be for doing a troop building kind of a thing, why is it the one that's being pictured for his box? You know what I mean? And on the other side, we have all the same bullshit we always get. Be nice if Hasbro would put together a list of what all the different symbols actually mean for them. I'm sure they have it there in their offices, but it'd be nice if they put it out for the rest of us. And then on the back, we got the product shots showing our professor and his little pet dinosaur, the trooper head, the harness for the dinosaur, and just a close-up of its face. Let's go ahead and open them up, shall we? So the tail here is a separate piece that we have to stick on its butt, so we have to do the butt pegging thing again. That went in really easy. There is a Cobra cutie mark on the flank. Apparently the My Little Pony people got to this one. There's a lot of articulation on this figure, or this dinosaur. I'm going to straight out say that right now, and it is both good and bad because I'm having a hell of a time trying to balance this guy. So I want to go over the equipment that this dude comes with first real quick. It's a whip. I hate this whip. I have enough of an issue whenever the toy companies try to position the whip to start with. And this is fucking useless. Like, it would be one thing if you had actually, like, folded it out enough so that it looks like it's cracking. Like, let's be honest, man. Mattel has done a better job with the whips, giving us actual, like, whippy whips. Even, I think even McFarlane have given us whips that were, like, extended and useful. But the fact that this one curls around like that just looks stupid. Very stupid.
You're so stupid! 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 Stupid!
So, and the handle's really thick. Not as thick as it looked like from inside the package, but still pretty thick. I don't know. Just the design of this, like, if they had, like, maybe had it molded like this, that would be more useful, because then it looks like it's in action. But with it curling that far, it does not. We also have a pistol for him, or, well, a revolver specifically. I don't know if this is based on a real revolver or not. If you do know, please go ahead and comment. He's got a sheath for it right in the back. Well, it appears that he's got a place to store the whip on the back here. That does not look any better. I'm just straight out saying that right now. That does not look any better. They should have just given us a nice soft rubber whip for this one. Yeah, I don't think that whip's going to make it to the shelf. Just saying. Maybe in his hand. Oh, let's just go ahead and see how bad it looks in his hand. Let's see if we can get it in his hand. This is like some Lego Playmobil shit going on here with this. You know what I mean? I don't like that whip. Really don't. The figure himself, he is new. He's got an interesting head sculpt. Lots and lots of decorative marks on him, including on his eyebrows. Hair is dyed white or it went white. His armor does seem to take some cues from samurai armor. But, yeah. He is a weird looking dude. Articulation wise on this guy, his head barely moves in there. You can't really do up and down too much. You can do a little forward and back. You can kick it to the side a little bit here, but that all gets in the way. Let's toss the alternate head on there, see how it goes. You can look around a bit. That's about it. Does not go well. But that would be the Paleo Trooper version. We'll be using his regular head unless I get more of these, which that'll probably only happen if they go on sale or clearance. You know what I mean? Can't be buying a whole bunch of G.I. Joe shit anymore. The arms, there is a butterfly joint in there, but it barely moves. The arm barely hinges up because of the armor on the shoulder here. That's as high as it goes. You can spin it all around though still. We do have the bicep cut. Double jointed elbow. He can pick his nose with his little bone spur. Hand moves 360 around. But again, the design here does interfere there. And it looks like he's got up and down articulation on the hand. Actually, on both hands. And it's barely there. Like, barely articulated. He has an ab crunch. Why does everybody in Cobra have, like, the weirdest costumes? There's a ball joint at the waist you can spin here and wobble it. Although the whole skirt belt piece here does interfere pretty much with every bit of movement you try to do with him. The legs. There is some drop down hip in there, but it's not very far. Spin at the thigh. Double joint at the knee. Spin at the boot. And we have the hinge and the spin down there. So like I said, we have the little spot where, oh my God, there's a lot of paint gunk that on here. Maybe a dino pooped on him or something. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of gunk there. Somebody really screwed up the paint job. This would make more sense if they had designed this whip a bit different or gave us a whip that was totally like rounded. Like, you know. I don't think I can even do it with this thing. Like, if they'd given us a whip like this that could have fit in there, that would have made more sense for that design, but nothing makes sense with this whip. Let's see. He barely has a butt. Yeah, see? Barely has a butt there. I don't know how I feel about the bone spur here. Like, if he goes to grab anything, that's getting in the way. And it looks like it's tied on, you know? Cobra logo in the chest plates. Like I said, he's a new character. Made for Classified. Because somebody wanted to put dinosaurs in Classified, I guess. This thing is kind of interesting, though. Like I said, it seems to be like really highly articulated. More so than you would expect from something like this. We do have a wire in the tail, so we can move the tail about. Sort of thing that maybe Mattel should have done with the Battle Cats. Just saying. The legs, they do kind of move together, but they also move separately. I think that's just because of the way the joint's made. But we can kick that thigh up that far and back about that far. The knee bends forward like that. And then back all the way like that. Then we have this little extra joint here that goes that far down and that far in. The feet are on a hinge as well. There is a pin in there. But they also articulated the killing claw here, which is a nice extra feature. I will say that. It is a nice extra feature to have. So you can have it raised up like when you watch Jurassic Park and they're getting ready to do something. The arms can go around like that far back and that far back. The elbow, again, hinges about that far forward and that far back. No double joints there. Spin and a hinge here as well. I'm going to say, dinosaur doesn't really need much more articulation than that on the hands. We can spin this around at the neck. This little fluffy bit here is a separate piece, by the way, to help hide the joint. So we can spin it around. We can pop the neck off on accident. So there's not actually a hinge in there. It's just how much room is in the ball joint. God, it came off again. So then the mouth, head, joint right here. Spin up and down, left and right. The jaw does kind of get slightly out of whack on occasion. Unlike the Dinobots, or making him a bit different than the Dinobots, he does not have a peg in there to put flame breath on, which, I mean, this is a genetically engineered one. I don't know why they didn't make it blow flames. And then this is just a loose piece, well, semi-loose there to help keep the neck covered. Now this guy comes with some additional equipment. Ugh. So now we know why the neck pops off so easily. So that goes on like a seeing eye dog. So we have a seeing eye dinosaur. We have a helmet. You know, I was expecting this thing to actually be part cybernetic. It's got additional teeth there. And we got a cover for the lower jaw. You know, it's too bad they didn't paint this at all. Those eyes, at least, at the very least, should have been painted, in my opinion. Made them look like they were clear glass or something, even. But that doesn't look too bad. And then the professor here can hold on to him like that. So his seeing eye dinosaur works just like that. Now, I found something interesting out today when I was trying to look up to see if there was any other versions of this figure out there in a file card. And apparently, Hasbro has been occasionally releasing file cards for figures on Instagram, but they don't stay up. And it looks like they're in their stories or whatever. So if you don't catch it when you catch it, you're I found a copy of this guy's file card, though, on Reddit, of all places. Does anybody know if somebody is collecting these things and posting them somewhere so everybody can find all the different ones that they're posting online? Because I found a half dozen of them there, and then I found 3 on Instagram. And then originally there was a couple I found for like Nemesis Enforcer and one of the 2-packs back on Facebook, which again, I don't know why they're not putting these pictures on Facebook of these file cards. That would make a lot of sense, but apparently we don't like to make sense. So I will probably set this up like I normally set up the file cards, you know, the way I usually make them. So I'll try to read this off. I'm going to show you guys a picture of what this looks like before I start, though, so you can see what it kind of looks like. And yes, it's that hard to read also for me. Even I printed it out extra large just to try to be able to read it. Professor Rottclaw, file name, Kilgore Crispin. Primary specialty, paleontology, genetic engineering. Secondary specialty, Paleo Viper Pack Leader. Birthplace, Johannesburg, South Africa. Crispin Kilgore grew up a child of privilege, his family's vast wealth granting him every luxury imaginable. But no money could provide this young boy's greatest wish, a real-life dinosaur of his very own. His obsession with all things prehistoric drove him to study cutting-edge genetic research with paleontology. As his methods began pushing ethical boundaries, he was expelled for unscrupulous conduct and rumored looting of dig sites. Ostracized from any reputable university, like any of them really are, he sought out Cobra and Dr. Mindbender as the only organization with adequate facilities and capital to realize his experiments, reviving the Cobra Deinonychus from extinction. Again, I'm probably saying that name wrong. Professor Rottclaw now serves as pack leader of Cobra's Paleo Viper forces, pairing the troopers with his creations, which they attempt to wrangle and direct against the enemies of Cobra with mixed results. Professor Rottclaw has no real allegiance to or belief in the ideals of Cobra. He'd serve anyone who helps him play with his toys. So as far as this goes, this is a new character for G.I. Joe. Maybe we'll see him in the Sunbound comics at some point. That'd be kind of cool. Although with Cobra just kind of being set up as it is, it seems like I would assume this will be a while. I do like that they paired him with a second head that could be used for generic troop building, but it still would have been nice if they had had some removable transferable armor to differentiate him from the Paleo Vipers. Like maybe even different arm gauntlets with different weapons attached to them. I don't know, something different. The dinosaur is really well articulated. I appreciate that in this case. Like I've picked up some other dinosaur figures before and they suck because I got the ones for Fortnite and I really didn't care for them. But this is a pretty cool set. Is it worth the money they're charging for it? Sure, for one. As far as troop building goes, though, I definitely will be waiting for clearance if I even want to consider that. You know what I mean? Because that's still a lot of money to be spending on figures. And that whip, man. I don't know why they couldn't just give us a decent looking whip, or if they wanted one to fit on his belt, they should have given us a second whip that was designed to fit on the belt. But this whole thing where they have it kind of curled around like that just doesn't look very good, honestly. It doesn't add to any playability whatsoever. And that's one of the problems with some of this stuff. They don't make it playable. But those are my thoughts. And I was just wondering what you guys think of this figure and the dinosaur. I kind of hope they actually give us additional dinosaurs in the future too. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool too. A different paleo trooper build with a pterodactyl maybe, or some other raptor beast, or a spitting beast or whatever, anything. But if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to claw at that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. Perhaps you'd like to go ahead and tickle that notification bell. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.